Average at Best Cornhole here, and I got a couple series by Killer Bees Cornhole. Killer Bees is an ACO stamped company. The R-mite here might be their most popular series. It's probably the one you heard about from them, and I decided to pair it with Flow, which is another hybrid carpet bag. Now, I just want to state this at first, that these bags did break in super quick. Quality on them is very good. They are a little bit on the floppier side, especially the Flow, and the template is a little bit larger, so we'll get into that later, but they might be a little too floppy for some, but if you do like a floppy bag, these are going to be right up your alley. Starting off with materials, and they both share the same fast side. It is that Viper Pro Sniper fast side. It's that 9-speed common fast side we're all used to. Slow sides are both hybrid materials, but they are different. The Flow here, it has that clone hybrid material. This is the one you'd find on Guardian, Wolverine, Dart. If you want to talk ACO, CBC, Apex has this material, also the Southwest LTD. The R-mite, it does have the R carpet on it, that the Viper R carpet, or if you want to talk ACO, CBC, Ronin also has this carpet on it. So the R-mite, it is a Viper R clone. It's just not really like the Viper R. It's a different bag. Talking speeds, Killer Bees says that the R-mite is a 6.9 and the Flow is a 6.27 and 9. Now, we're all familiar with these fabrics. I think they probably play about a 6 brand new, but they will slow down. And I do feel that this clone hybrid is a touch slower than the R carpet. But speeds are subjective. Everybody's, open to their own opinion, and that's why he gave that a range for himself. Now, I will also say, once we get the template, the Flow template is a little bit larger. So that really makes me think that it's going to be slower because you have a larger bag. There's more material to touch, and the surface area on the board is going to help slow it down because there's more friction there. And the template on these, the R-mite, this is that common medium template we're all used to. This is going to be the most similar template that you see. I call that a medium. The Flow, on the other hand, it's going to be like a medium to large. It is a little bit larger than that R-mite template, and you can feel it, especially with the looseness and the floppiness. That leads to the fill and flop, and I believe both series are just all flat fill. I really don't feel any rounds or even filler beads in there, so it's going to give the bag a ton of forgiveness. Now the Flow, it's going to definitely be a lot floppier because of that larger template, and I did at times struggle to get a really good grip on this bag. Even though it does have the flat fill in there, sometimes you had to really lock and pull back so the pellets didn't shift in your backswing, which would ultimately affect you throwing straight. The R-mite, I still would consider this a floppy bag. It's just not as floppy as the Flow, and I really didn't have an issue getting a good grip on that R-mite. Don't always discuss bagmanship anymore, but I do want to with these bags because these bags are hand sewn. I spoke with the guy. He sews them up in his basement. One guy, and they are sewn to perfection. I didn't see any flaws or issues with the bags. You can tell he really cares about his bagmanship, and honestly, I ordered them on a Friday. You can request your slow side colors and, the colors on the top. And he sewed them up that evening or the next morning and had them shipped out on Saturday to me. So I was impressed with the speed and I was impressed with the bagmanship. Moving on to the slide up, and I want to do a highlight and a low light of each bag. And the highlight of both these series is their forgiveness. The flat fill, the hybrid materials on both of them, they are super forgiving, especially with their looseness. You will not have a problem with these bags kicking on you. Unfortunately, that's not going to help you shape shots too much, but if you're not looking for that, what does it matter? You probably just want that forgiveness. Low light on the Flow, it's got to be the looseness. It is a super loose bag, and I think it's going to be too loose for some players. You really have to throw that bag a lot and get used to that looseness and maybe alter your grip so you don't have to wiggle it too much to lock the beads down. But that larger template, that flat fill, and the hybrid carpet with that looseness, it's an extremely forgiving bag. So if that's what you're looking for, you're going to get that in the Flow. The R-mite, it was difficult to think of like a good low light for this bag. I'm not saying the bag is perfect. It's the best bag I've ever thrown before, but it doesn't really seem to have many negatives. I guess the only negative would be, you know, with that flat fill, it is going to hang up sometimes on the hole with you because flat fill settles real quick and doesn't want to keep on moving. So if you don't throw it hard enough, it's going to hang up on the front. It's going to be easy to clean up, or sometimes it's not going to, you know, even if it catches the side of the hole, it could come to a stop without it dripping in. And forgiveness, like I've been saying, I mean, that's the highlight of these bags. The R-mite, I always look for, Viper R was one of my very first, you know, favorite bags. And I've always looked for another bag that shares characteristics of that. And the forgiveness of this R-mite definitely shares the same characteristics of that Viper R. It's just, it's a smaller template. It's not the same bag. I don't want to make it sound like it's the same bag, but it's definitely on the same level of forgiveness that the Viper R would be. And the flow, I've stated it, you know, that larger template, hybrid material, it's loose. This bag is super forgiving, and I don't think it's going to kick much at all on you, even if you don't throw a flat bag. I want to talk about whole bodiness, and I got to mention the flat fill first. The flat fill, it does tend to settle, and that could happen with these series. The R-mite, though, it definitely had really good whole bodiness. The little bit faster of that hybrid material, if you're on target, the chances of it settling is very minimal. I'm only stating that it can happen. The problem with its whole bodiness is, since it is a little bit smaller of a template, it's going to be harder to, you know, accidentally catch the side of the hole if you're off your target a little bit. The flow, that's where the flow made up, is that, you know, it is a little bit looser and it is a little bit larger. So if you are off target some, the chances of a corner catching that hole is going to be greater than what it would be with the R-mite. My only complaint with the flow is, since it is so loose, if you did have a hanger there, I mean, it really hangs over the side of the hole. So there's not a lot of material there to grab if you're trying to throw an airmail drag or whatever to get that bag also. Collectibility on these bags is a little opposite for them. The R-mite was great at collecting. I think it was the perfect balance of looseness and with the flat fill and the template size, that if you're on target for your collect, you're getting it. It just seemed to grab and, you know, go into the hole together. It is a smaller template though, so you're going to have some issues if you are off target, because you're trying to collect a smaller template bag with another smaller template bag. So, you know, grabbing them off to the side, you really had to be on target some. The flow, it did bunch up some on me when I was trying to collect. Anything straight on, you had no issues at all, but it was actually the opposite of collectability that I liked with the flow, because it is a little bit looser. So when you are playing offensively, if you saw some sort of a lane or gap, it was really easy to bunch that bag up and, you know, squeeze through stuff to, you know, get by your opponent's bag. As far as playability, both these series, I'm running holes with them. I'm not saying you can't lay a blocker. You can, and you can clean your blocker up. And the R-mite, it probably does have a little bit better of an opportunity to cut and roll and flop. I was able to move it a little bit, but not extremely well. The flow, I mean, it's just great at getting in the hole, especially if you throw straight at it. So why would you want to do anything else? I think you utilize the forgiveness of both of these series, because the more bags you put in the hole by throwing straight and hitting the board straight and them sliding straight, it really boosts your confidence. Cornhole's a mental game, so you're going to want to see that bag going straight and straight up into the hole, and then boost your confidence, and then it really helps you play better in the long run, and you continue to throw straighter. Killer Bees does have a website. It's killerbeescornhole.com. That's where you can purchase some of these sets. They also have a Facebook page, which is Killer Bees Cornhole LLC. That's where you can go on and read some updates and, you know, see what information the company's putting out. Availability on the series, they're on the website. I didn't see any sold out or whatnot, so I think they are readily available. Like I said, they're hand sewn. The guy does it in his own basement, so they're probably all made to order that way. Designs, it seems that he has all his stock designs listed with a bunch of different colors, and then you can choose which slow side color you want. There's some option there, but I think he's real big on customs also. So if you reach out and discuss customs, you can get, you know, whatever design you want on the bag. Cost for these series, the website did have them listed. The R-mites at $100 and then the flows at $80. Now, I have noticed that they do go on sale quite a bit, and I think he makes up batches of bags and takes them to majors, and whatever doesn't sell out, he reduces the price. And last time I looked, the prices on both these series was down quite a bit from that standard mark. So you got to check the website, and look for the best price for them before you go to purchase. My overall thoughts on these bags, and so after I get bags broken and I play them with me and Cooper and my wife a lot, you know, get them game ready, I guess. We take them out to groups, we invite people to go play, and that's where you see our recording. And I don't know how, how beneficial this statement's going to be, but the people that don't like a floppy bag weren't a huge fan of these bags. The people that did like a floppy bag, they were a huge fan of these bags. You have to play them for what they were. And you know, floppy hybrid material bags are going to be hole runners. And if you're not trying to do crazy cut shots and rolls and flops, and all you want to do is run, you know, holes with these bags, or you don't have a super flat bag, it's tilted and you don't want something kicking on you, that's where these bags are going to be very good for you, especially for beginners. And I can see why that R-mite is a very popular bag, because it was forgiving. You know, it had that medium template that we're all used to, and it was a little bit easier to throw than what the flow was. But there's definitely benefits to the flow. Like I said, that bunching up, you know, you throw it hard at piles just to squeeze through everything, and it was a little bit more forgiving than the R-mite. But the R-mite, you're going to be able to shape shots a little bit better. So you have to play bags for what they're intended for or what they're good for. And I just want to end this with, you're going to be average at something, be average at cornhole.